Welcome to the Holy Yogi, where we help you find the guru inside of you. Hello, beautiful. Hello, handsome. And if no one has told you today that they love you, I 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 love you. Let me be the first. How you doing today, beautiful and handsome? We got a wonderful series that we're going to begin today just for you. How to have a healthy relationship. I'm going to say that again. How to have a healthy relationship. And the reason why we're on this subject is because a couple of weeks ago, I did a wonderful series on how to find your soulmate. And what I realized, the response that I got back from so many people was that most people have a very difficult relationship with themselves. That they have got to be the love that they're looking for and first fall in love with you. Because like I said then and I tell you now, if you don't love you, how do you expect someone else to love you? And how can you recognize love when it shows up? So you got to be practicing what you're preaching, what you're teaching, and more importantly, what you want to experience in life. So today, we're going to begin our series on how to have a healthy relationship. For that number one reason. And number two reason is we found that in today's society and the way the government is being run and the leaders that are in office right now there are a lot of unhealthy relationships. We've been hearing a lot about, R. Kelly's situation and what's been going on with his relationships with women. And one of the things that we realized as far as those relationships, a lot of questions were being asked. Like, for example, how could parents, knowing that R. Kelly had an issue with dating and having relationships with young women, they would allow their children to be in that type of environment, number one. And number two question is, how could those young ladies allow themselves to participate in that type of environment? And we find that people who are in unhealthy, toxic relationships is only because they were born into and they experienced unhealthy relationships with their mom, with their dad, with themselves as they were growing up, and with society and how it represented them. And in doing so, what they recognize as unhealthy, they've known as to be the norm. And I always say that though it is normal, doesn't make it right. Though everyone in society is doing it, doesn't mean that it is okay. Once slavery was the norm, once again, and was the law. And once again, just because society had accepted it, didn't mean it wasn't wrong and it needed to be corrected. And so that's what it is, and that's what needs to be done as far as relationships today. I always say, a lot of times, that one of the key things, and I'll just talk about me because I think, the best mistakes to learn are other people's mistakes because they'll save you time, money, energy, stress, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And the area of love, one of the things that I realized growing up was that, number one, I had issues with loving myself. And the reason why was simply put because society, once again, growing up as an African American female, had a derogatory negative connotation in regards to how we were. Like black was not beautiful, okay? Angry black woman, all those stereotypical beliefs as far as how we are as a people. And more importantly, I did not have my dad in my life. And because I didn't have that upbringing with a male figure in my life, I didn't know, honestly, how to respond and to react in that situation when it became on an intimate level. So what's important right now is that we learn how, and that's what I had to teach myself, how to have a healthy relationship. And that's with anybody. We always think about romantically first because that's what everybody's geared towards, and we expect mom and dad to love us. But the reality of the situation is the first thing that we have to do is to what? Learn to love ourselves. And sometimes Mom and dad has issues in those areas. It's like dysfunctional relationship after dysfunctional relationship after dysfunctional relationship. Particularly with African Americans, we have grown up in America where at one time we were not even allowed to get married. We were not even allowed to have a functional, successful relationship between a man and a woman. Our children were taken away from us while we were on the plantation. In addition to that, we didn't have a healthy relationship. Obviously, when you have a slave master and a slave, you're in inferiority and superiority complex syndrome. All those things. That's why a lot of us African Americans, we suffer from what is called post-traumatic slavery syndrome. And we don't even realize we even have that problem. And until you realize you have a problem, you cannot heal yourself of that problem. So it's a lot going on here, particularly with a lot of, groups of people and individuals and what their culture and their upbringing has been all about. But like I said, I'm just going to talk about me, and you find yourself in the story because we all have dysfunctionalities that are going on in America. Because think about it, if we grew up in that type of environment where the slave master was having relationships with the slaves, etc., can you imagine his relationship with his wife? What's going on there? And just a lot of fornication going on, a lot of infidelity going on, just a lot of dysfunctionality as far as what a true love relationship is all about. Now, I'll be honest with you, I just now went off on a major tangent, but I guess I really didn't, because I always believe that the universe is always talking to me to speak about something that's really important and very prevalent and important that we institute, because so many people don't talk about it. Because you know why? A lot of people have gotten selective amnesia. And until we get to the bottom and core root of our challenge and problem, we cannot solve it together, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we're going to do today, because we're in the business of telling the truth and living the truth, because that's the best expression of what love is all about. So let's go back to the issue at hand. So the first thing, what's the first thing that we have to do? We have to once again get back to the main issue, is learning to love ourselves. So now in learning to love ourselves, the first thing that we need to do is, first, we got to look at ourselves in the mirror. I want everybody to do this exercise. It's called the mirror exercise. Like right now, I'm actually talking to you, but I'm looking in a mirror, an image of myself. And I want you to say over and over again. Now, I want you to get some box of tissues, because I promise you, a lot of stuff is going to come up for you. But I want you to look into the mirror, and I want you to say to yourself in the mirror as you're looking at yourself, I love you. For me, I love you, Elon Bomani. Now, the first time I did that exercise and I looked in the mirror at myself, I realized I didn't love myself. Matter of fact, I cried with that realization. But more importantly, what was really ironic about it, do you know the first thing we do when we look in the mirror? We always focus on what's wrong with ourselves. My nose is too big. My lips are too thin. My face looks so fat. Oh my God, I got a wrinkle over here. You know, if you really think about it, every time we look in the mirror, we see what's wrong with ourselves first before we see what's right with ourselves. So as you can already see, we've got negative views as far as how we look. And if we think about how we look, that predicates upon how we feel about ourselves. So it's okay. You know, honor yourself, forgive yourself, and accept yourself for figuring out this whole thing called love. Because once you get at the core nitty-gritty, you'll be able to smile. Because now, honey child, I can look in the mirror, very nice today, tell myself I love myself. Girl, you look good. You got what it takes. You are massively successful. You're in abundance. And when you can honestly, sincerely say that, and it makes you feel really good inside, remember, whatever you say, it comes what? Right back to you. You can start living it. And as it vibrates through you, that wonderful love vibrational frequency, it will transcend to other people. Okay? So once we get that under wraps, and we're in the business of truly loving ourselves, now this is the thing that we want to do, because we want to practice. This is the love exercise. Yep, there are love exercises. So I'm going to teach you them right now. What are love exercises? Well, What I want you to do is not only start saying to yourself that you love yourself. That's in the morning when you wake up through prayer and meditation and visualizations and affirmations. Now you want to take that same love message. You want to thank it about your mom, about your dad, about your sister, about your brother, about your mate, if you have one in your life, about the business partner that you're working with, about the gentleman at the grocery store who picked up, that product that you wanted, about everybody that you meet, about the car in front of you that probably ran in front of you, that went through the red light. You want to give a lot of love to everybody that you interact with. Now, you don't have to say it verbally to them. They might think, oh, something's wrong, but that's okay. That's another conversation. But what you want to do, you want to mentally, just constantly mentally give out love, love, love to everybody that you see and that you meet and that you greet. I love you, I love you, love you, love you, love you, I love you, love you, love you. Now, as you say that to them, now the people that are in your family and friends that can appreciate it, you want to, now you thinking it, now you want to verbally say it. Say it to yourself when you wake up in the morning, I love you. Now you want to physically do a demonstration of it. You want to give them a hug or a kiss or a compliment. You look wonderful today. You exude love now verbally, okay? And now you physically share it with them by hugging them and kissing them, okay? Or giving them also a wonderful compliment. Okay, so you see how that vibrated and how that worked, how you demonstrated that love via number one, you thought about it. You said you loved them through your prayers and meditation that morning. You affirmed it for them. So now it went from the thought. After you thought about it, then you said it to them. Now you put it out into the universe. Okay, now we're doubling down on that love vibrational frequency. And then in addition to that, last but not least, you demonstrated it physically, okay? By a hug, by a kiss, by writing a little note on the refrigerator. I remember when I was a little girl, before my mother would go to work, she would put a little snack, or I think it was breakfast, and she would write, I love you on Scott's paper towel tissues before she went to work. Now, exuding that, feeling all that love and that joy inside of you, that makes for a great day and a great life. Now, remember, I told you about the love vibrational frequency. Like attracts like. So as you're saying that to them, also to you, what happens? They, in return, say it back to you. And sometimes you got to fake it until you make it. Sometimes your family and friends just don't have it within them because they're not used to that demonstration. So it's even a practice for them. Okay, sometimes you have to remind them, like I do my children. Now, mommy said that she loves you. Now you say I love you too. It's all a practice, even when it comes to love, because love is what? It's an action word. It's a verb, okay? It's what you do more than what you say. And that's when you know it's truly real. My motto is, I hear what you say, but more importantly, I watch what you do. Because that is the truth. They call it lip service. A lot of people can easily say it, arbitrarily say it, nonchalantly say it. But the best way to demonstrate the meaning of it is to physically show an expression of that. Now, sometimes it is the word I love you. Or sometimes that wonderful husband of yours will put gas in a car before you go to work the next day because he knows when he brings home the car that you're going to need it, and so you don't have to, go out and get gas in the car. That is a demonstration of love. Or more importantly, when you walk in the door and you smell that wonderful, delicious meal on that table, the mac and cheese, that's your vegan mac and cheese, let's get back at it, that you absolutely love, well, that's a demonstration of mama loving you and taking care of you by creating a healthy meal for you to eat to make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. So there are other forms of demonstration of love, not sometimes verbally stated, but physically stated. So look for all the clues. But if you can balance them all out and make it a habit of thinking it first, saying it second, and doing it third, woo-hoo-hoo! That's when the love vibration will take off in full force for you and for them. Now, I'll be honest with many of you, and let's be honest with you. Did you wake up today, and did you do all of those things I just now suggested? Did you do 25% of it, 50%, 75%, 100%? Or if you did, then you're on course and you're on your way. But let's be honest, with 99%, tell the truth and shame the devil, you haven't. Matter of fact, when was the last time? Everybody's waiting for Valentine's Day to come up. Yeah, that's why I created this series, because we got to get back into the business of loving each other and having some healthy relationships with all the people that are in our lives. So keep that in proper perspective, ladies and gentlemen. I just not gave you the starting foundation of learning how to love yourself. So start off small, be very, very kind with yourself, and try to do it for 24 hours. Give it a go, give it a try. And more importantly, don't worry about how other people receive your graciousness and your love demonstrations. What's more important with how you feel while you're doing it. If you feel uncomfortable, you got to analyze that. What's uncomfortable when someone gives you a kiss? What's uncomfortable about a hug? And that is the business of you've just gotten out of practice of throwing out that love vibration. Now you're in the business of doing it for yourself. So I want everybody to get ready. I want everybody to get excited. 24 hours. And do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. So tomorrow, when I come up with day 2 on how to have a healthy relationship, you're going to be able to find out some more phenomenal information that's going to get you back in a place of love. And more importantly, just get you back in a place of enjoying life. Because once again, love makes the world go round and round and round. And love, once again, is the greatest medicine of them all. It feels so good inside. And I wish it for each and every single one of you. So I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, peace, light, love. Namaste, Hetapu, peace. Oops, I forgot one thing. Come back. We've got our minute meditation. Let's meditate on how to have a healthy relationship. Dear Divine Spirit, we ask you to guide us on this wonderful journey of creating a better, healthy relationship with our family, with our friends, with our loved ones, with our business partner, with all the associates that we meet each and every single day. We know that they all are a divine expression of you. And so as I say, I love you to them, I am also saying I'm loving you as well as I'm loving myself. And as I go through these challenges, and though they may not be receptive to what I'm saying to them, it is okay. Because life is all about love, acceptance, and forgiveness. Ashe. Hetapu. Peace.